or flashes, like really quick. So yeah, so hopefully that won't happen today. So yeah, but
we live. We
live. Hey everybody, welcome to the final episode of Facetious. I am one of your hosts this evening. I am Larry, aka Bluemanrule, and I am joined not by Mike, aka Scarfinger, just yet. He will likely make his way in. However, I have two of the hosts from a starting point. Met these guys down in PAX South, and just genuinely good people, hilarious guys. Sometimes they say things I disagree with, but it's me. So
no, Corey says things that you disagree with.
And so the first verse you heard was none other than Brian, aka Quiglin. What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having us on this ultimate show.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. And then finally, as he takes a swig of his beer, is none other than Corey, aka Too Big for His Britches, aka MythicGriffon. What's going on, man?
What's happening, man? It's always good to be on this show. Man. I'm so excited to have us back on. I mean, I don't know why we had to have Brian on here, but I mean, this is cool.
It's cool. You know, he's just trying to. And finally, joining us,
timing.
Look at Mike from the slumber is none other than Mike, aka Scarfinger, aka, and this is the last time I can do it. Real talk. What's up, dog?
Oh, what's up, y'all? You know what? All right, hold on. Let me turn my light on. Let me turn my light on real quick. All right, so this is the last episode. It's gonna be some cussing. I'm a cuss. It's gonna be some cussing today. So like, look, I'm spared y'all. I'm spared y'all a lot. It's gonna be some cussing today. So we right back.
We've been rated R the whole time. Like we've been rated the whole time. I think we've been kind of PG-13.
I think so. I would agree. PG-13.
But today we get serious. Today we get that adult conversation.
Right, but I'm saying officially, like via iTunes, we have an explicit tag. So
then we good.
We've always been explicit because Mike, you are my co-host, and Mama didn't raise no fool. So
all right, so I'm not gonna go crazy with it. Like you might get a bitch every once in a while, but like I'm not really gonna go that far with it.
He don't believe it. You need more people.
Okay, so there's gonna be a few bitches. There's gonna be a few bitches. I'm gonna go very minimal on the fucks, like very minimal.
All right,
very minimal on the fucks.
I promise at least one or two. Depending on the topic. But
if
at least
you
one
can drink it, Corey, they're gonna be at least
three. Depending on what the topic is for the night, there might be a few motherfuckers in there too.
All right, well we got a few things, and then after that, man, we freeballing for the rest of the episode.
Cool.
Because that's how we do it. So we only got 4 quick topics. Cool. So
I'm freeballing already. I ain't got no draws on.
I mean, I know that's how you roll. This episode was named in honor of you.
No, I gotta keep these nuts in order.
Right. Okay. All right. So listen, y'all. So I was running to lunch on I can't remember if it was yesterday or if it was Friday. I think it may have been Friday or it was one day last week. But okay, so who you would agree, right, that in a building where there's a lot of people working, lunchtime is probably heavy traffic, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's probably a lot of heavy foot traffic moving in and out, right? So why would the cleaning personnel mop their stairwell during lunch?
Someone spilled their coffee. Philip spilled his coffee in the stairwell, and that's when they got around to cleaning it up.
Okay. Is that how that works?
So what had happened was this is what had happened.
What had happened was there I was in the stairwell.
See what happened. This is Philip's fault. Mm-hmm. Philip decided that he was going to he's been listening to some music, mm-hmm. And then Stairway to Heaven came on. Now, here's the thing. I'm not talking about like the rock version of Stairway to Heaven. I'm talking about the OJ's Stairway to Heaven. And he decided he wanted to create his own Stairway to Heaven. So he needed to create something where they would actually mop the stairs so somebody can fall and go to heaven.
That got dark real
quick. keep in mind it is Philip. That's kind of how it works.
It's my man Phil.
Right.
Like, Phil is not.
It's the last episode. That's what happened.
Right.
That's all Phil.
Right, man. But I was just like, why would you do this? Why would you make this? Now, keep in mind, I told you, I work in a place where there are a lot of older people. So there are a lot of Eleanors and Phyllises walking around this place, right? So why would you mop the stairwell when Eleanor got to come downstairs to get out to go to lunch?
Well, see, Eleanor ain't the problem. Eleanor is not the problem, because if you Eleanor, that you have to be a certain age to be an Eleanor. Like other than the Eleanor on The Good Place, ain't no young Eleanors. But right. we are aware that Eleanor takes slow, small, and careful steps. So she's not the problem. Philip is the problem, because like my man walked through the hallways and walked down the steps with the Saturday Night Fever in his head, and he be strutting. The strutting people are the ones that you got to worry about. It's not Eleanor that you got to worry about. It's the staying alive folks.
Yeah, you gotta watch them. No, you gotta watch them because they're like dropping 2 steps at a time.
Right, right.
Super serious. So here's my thing. I've come to believe that this is an exercise with the company. That's all this is. They're all like, let's see if they know how to evacuate without stairs. So like, would you like to go get something to eat? You gotta go. You can't take the stairwell. What will you do?
Right.
Like, that's exciting. Like there has to be a show about that. Like, what happens if we block off all the exits and you got one exit and it's wet?
Right.
Or they look, you got to take the stairs anyway. And look, we just saw the Mortal Kombat teaser. Right. The moment you got to go down those stairs, it's test your might.
Right,
man.
I'm just thinking like, oh man, somebody made the wrong call on when to get these people out here to do this, to mop these floors, man.
I feel bad. Like Philip's gonna be down on the ground, be like, oh, fatality. Right. Like, what happened? Poor guy.
It's tough, dude. So
he gonna ball him in the fetal position, baby.
Right.
What's even worse? Why would you put? So like when you exit the door, right? When you come out. So you come out, you walk out, there's like this little area here. You could have put the sign over here. They put it right where the door swings out. So when it swings out, they put the sign right there. So you knock over the sign. Now you've knocked.
See, my man Fred know what he's doing. See, look, Fred, this is Fred. Fred worked for the janitorial staff. So here's what Fred did.
Right.
Fred put it in a place where the door is always going to hit it. So if the door always hits it, then that means you got to pick it back up, which means you can't pretend that you didn't know it was there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But then you asking Phyllis to bend down on the flick floor, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So
you know, Phil.
You don't want Phyllis to bend over? Come on.
Oh, man.
Come on now. We all know Phyllis. Phyllis got her grabber somewhere near.
Phyllis got a grabber? Got a grabber? Oh man, so wrong.
Man, I did not know I was joining the ageist podcast. I don't know what happened here. They're like, old people, I hope you fall. I'm like, dang.
I'm the one that said that Phyllis was not going to fall because she takes slow and careful steps.
That's right. She's very gentle.
Right, and I'm trying to look out for Phyllis because I don't need her walking on a wet floor or bending over on a wet floor. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking out for Phyllis. But no, man, it's
but then again, Phyllis got them things. So if she bend over a little bit, hey.
Nope.
Phyllis got them things. Like, bro, come on, let's be honest. She's 75. She's 75, but I'm pretty sure she knows a thing or two. Man, let me tell you,
just put the headset up and he just walk away.
Phyllis gonna be like,
damn shame.
Phyllis gonna be like, Corey, I got something for you. It's my last day here. Meet me in the janitor closet.
She could be like, I'm all ready. Let's go out in that stairwell. It's already wet. Let's go.
No, you don't need that stairwell. You don't need that stairwell.
Why?
I ain't had nothing in a while. I got a slip and slide, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that stairwell's not the only thing that's slippery when wet.
There you go.
Why did we go down this route? I know it's the last episode.
You started it. This your fault. And look, she could be like, Corey, I already spoke to Fred. The closet is clear. We gonna get in here. I'm gonna take my teeth out.
What happens when you bring alcohol on the show, man? It's crazy.
Oh, I forgot I was supposed to be drinking. I ain't got no drink.
No, you're great.
No, you're good.
Doing a fine job.
Right.
Man.
All right, man. So one thing, man, that's just tripping me out is, we all gamers here, and there have been so many remasters the last 3 years.
Hold on. Wait a second. Most of us are gamers.
That's right. He said that there's Brian. Then there's Mike, who refuses to acknowledge.
And there's also Mike.
Right.
I mean,
I don't like being called a gamer. I play video games. I don't like that title.
Yeah, I would. Yes. Okay, concur.
It's kind of like it's the same way some people don't like being called niggas. Like, I'm black and like I have hood tendencies. Like people be like, I'm black, I got hood tendencies, and I rep for the hood, but I ain't no nigga. Like,
did everybody just apologize to YouTube live? Is that what we just did? Like live, and we're sorry, it's the last episode. Whoops.
Well, you have bought into a program that has been rated explicit from the start.
But it's the last episode, so we're good to go. All right,
exactly. So we're gonna keep it rolling.
I told you there's gonna be some problems out of me today.
So all right. So question. Go ahead. Go shoot, Larry.
Okay. So everyone here at least plays games, and we played so many remastered things. But Motorola has taken that hint, and they are remastering the flip phone, but it's gonna be $1,500. On a foldable OLED display. Mike, you remember we talked about this a long time ago. We talked about this a few years ago, foldable OLEDs. And so now they have foldable OLEDs that's going to take the place of a normal Motorola flip phone. And those phones that really only cost $150 max back in the day are going to be 10 times that when they come back.
I only have one question.
Just one?
Just one question.
Oh, here you go. Cover your ears, children.
Who the fuck is this for?
Right. Who is it's not for me.
Like, who is this for? Like, there is no person on earth that's like, I want a foldable OLED StarTAC. Fuck out of here. Like, nobody wants this shit. Like, nobody wants it. Who wants this? Who is this for?
I don't know. I have no clue, dog.
The person who shops at like Sharper Image, so they can be that fucking douche who pulls it out and goes, excuse me while I unfold this.
Yeah, it's like I've seen a flip phone with a touch screen as the top part, and I was just like, and I said the same thing. Like, who is this for? Like, who wants this? Why is this necessary? Like, just get a regular phone, dude. Like, come on, man. I get it. Some of us get a little hipstery. I mean, some of us look a little hipstery. Chase. But like,
salute.
but like,
defend himself.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Is he in the chat?
He was in the chat. He said one thing in the chat at the start of the show. Right. But like, even if you are a hipster, like hipsters like ironic iPhones. You know what I mean? Like, hipsters like an iPhone with like a wood case. You know what I mean? Like,
hold on. All right.
Bamboo? You going bamboo?
I'm gonna.
Corey's like, I'm taking my case off.
Corey's like, I'm hiding my phone. Go ahead, Corey.
Hold on, I'm taking my big case off. Hold on a second. No, so I'm gonna argue the other side, which sucks because I didn't think I was gonna be on this side of the conversation. So, I work with several tech geeks, and a lot of people are actually excited about the Razer phone because of the technology, because of the bring back. There's a lot of people. Razer was a fantastic phone by Motorola, probably one of the best phones that Motorola ever made. So having
iconic as well.
Absolutely. It's one of those things like you have it. And guess what? You know what? It's fine. You don't have a flip phone. That's fine. But people like to have that. And you have a generation that's like stuck in the middle, that we're not quite hipsters, that we're not quite old, right? We're not Phyllis. But at the same time, we like to have technology that we're familiar with. So by re-releasing a Razer phone, which has been asked for probably for God knows how many years, and between Reddit and social media, everybody's like, I wish I just had the Razer phone. That phone was great, blah, 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 blah. Motorola is actually re-releasing it. My issue with the Razer phone, congratulations. I'm happy that you want a flip phone. We're going to get those sideways phones soon, the ones that like the kick things, the like flip. Yeah, the sidekicks and all those things. I'm sure that's all going to make a comeback because we like that irony. We like having.
They're gonna make a new two-way pager.
They might, because look at all the stuff that we're doing right now. You have an entire generation of gamers and tech files that like to have classic Dreamcasts, Super NES, classic, Nintendo Classic.
Like to have the old phone. Like,
sure, they'd like to have that
with an OLED. Like we don't.
Sure.
With the
we don't.
Big razor. Like
we don't.
Look,
there's a generation gap.
That was like this close to Kid Rock. I mean, Chris Rock. Like, why don't you just get a razor? Right. Like, you got to show all your teeth. You got to show your teeth. Don't nobody want a razor with an OLED. Who wants an OLED? Phyllis don't want no OLED. She wants a razor.
But that's the thing, is that there's a generation, there's a gap of people that would like to have that nostalgia. My issue with the phone is, why the hell is it $1,500?
That's what I don't understand.
Nobody needs to pay $1,500 for OLED anything.
I'm gonna tell you. This here's where it is, right? You know the problem with the Oxbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the Oxbox was they made it out of regular old computer parts and not specific to that machine.
Sure.
And then when technology moved on, it became too expensive to keep recreating these old parts.
Right.
That's the reason why this thing costs so much. Do you know how much a flip phone hinge will probably cost right now?
3 cents.
About $350. About $350.
All these, you gotta go back and you gotta research some stuff to figure out how to redo it and mass produce something old. So, like, yeah, this stuff is gonna cost way more because, like, I mean, who makes those springs?
Somebody got to.
Somebody's not even an attractive phone. Like, it's not an attractive piece of hardware.
There you go.
I disagree. That probably was like the most iconic flip phone for the longest time.
But have you seen what the new one looks like?
It's not an attractive phone, but like, think about the same people that rush out to buy these mini re-releases of ugly consoles. Like, the NES is not handsome. Like, nope. Let's be honest. Like, it's not. The Super Nintendo got a little something on it. The original PlayStation, not a really nice.
Not a thing.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, it's we already know people that want to buy this stuff that looks old, but like, why? I just don't get who this is for.
So I get this. It's literally for nostalgia heads, and that's why. And you just pointed out everything about nostalgia. It's like, it's tech geeks that are like, I really want all the stuff I used to have. I just had a conversation with my manager today, and he's all like, you know what I really want to get my hands on? I was like, what? He's like, an original Dreamcast. And I was like, why? And he goes, because Sega has some of the best, the 2K series. They were the last. But like, he goes, they have some of the best. Sega had some of the best sports games ever. Dreamcast was the best way to do 4-player with that. With 2K, the last MLB games that were ever released were on Dreamcast.
Don't get Knox started on 2K5.
Yeah,
let's not.
That's a whole different conversation.
That's a whole different conversation. But I'm saying is that everybody wants that nostalgia feel. They want that piece of hardware in the past that they love so much. And Motorola, if you notice, is one of the first companies that is actually making this movement. iPhone does this. You can go get an iPhone 4 and iPhone 3 right now for stupid cheap. And iPhone's like, oh, we're going to reboot this thing and make this a thing, and you guys can buy the old thing. Nobody cares because it's still in that generational gap. But prior to that, I guarantee you, if somebody tomorrow said, I'm going to re-kick the Sidekick, I guarantee you there would be people lining up. And if it was $2,000, they would buy it because they remember it and they loved it. I promise you.
Here's my hypocrite moment.
I'm listening.
Here's my hypocrite moment. If somebody makes and put an OLED in the Nextel phone, I might be there for it. I'm not saying I will. I said I might.
They'll be like, hey, we got that Android Top Kick 4K OLED. And everybody goes, what?
Yeah.
And then you hit it with that chirp. And then
right?
Yeah, and I don't even want that to do anything. I just wanted to make the noise when I press the button.
Yeah.
Right. And hold your MP3s. That's all you do. Hold your podcast and make the chirp. So here's the thing. So I concur, man. Like, when you're talking about the repurposing of older PC parts and everything. That's what kind of made that thing a viable option, right? It was, but a lot of people are talking about just the ability to hang up on somebody's face, right? But how it go close? Those stools that like don't slam, the no slam toilet stools, where you're like, yeah, man, goodbye. and it just.
It's wait, hold on. Who we haven't heard from yet, Brian.
Yeah,
Brian. I have to ask you.
Okay.
What are you excited about the Razer phone?
No, I think. Well, I just looked it up and it looks ugly.
Why? What don't you like about it? Aesthetically, what don't you like about it?
Okay. So first, I don't like how wide it is. Like it seems that it like because the top part seems to be wider at the bottom than it is at the top.
I do like a wide bottom.
You
no, say you would. Say you would. But keep going.
Pause.
But no, and then at the bottom there are actual buttons for things. Like I don't know why that needs to be a thing. I just to me it's just not aesthetically pleasing. That's all.
I hear you. Like the addition of the hardware based capacitive buttons at the bottom. See, this is what they need to do. They need to make two separate OLEDs, make it look exactly like the old flip phone, but let the bottom part of the screen where you had it, like with the numbers and stuff, let that transform to a regular keyboard. Like
so basically like software. A DS.
Yeah, but give it haptic feedback, so every time you touch it, it feels like you're hitting something, right? It gives you that vibration feedback, but separate it so you keep that form factor, because the cool thing about the Razer was its form factor. And now with the additional conveniences and things that they have, those extra buttons at the bottom, you are essentially eliminating its cool factor. So I think it's problematic in the way that they've presented it just from a marketing standpoint. But I mean, they're going to clamor onto it, and yeah, they're going to sell a little bit, and then they're going to drop it to $750, and then it's going to be at $750 for a long time.
So hold on, I gotta give a shout out to somebody who just hit me up on who's watching this live. Jay just said, a fan of the show. Starting Point says, "No, Larry, no." I don't know why, but he says, "No, Larry, no." So we'll get to that here in a minute. I don't know what he's disagreeing with you, but he disagrees with whatever you said. But here's my thing.
Speaking of the chat, hold on, I gotta address something.
What happened?
Okay.
My man Detroit said that he don't know one hot Phyllis. And I said, he might, he a white dude, so he don't know nothing about Phyllis Hyman. Phyllis Hyman was, you know what I'm saying? That was a hot Phyllis. You know what I'm saying? Young Phyllis Hyman was dope. So like, go ahead, look up Phyllis Hyman. That's a hot Phyllis.
So I'll go back on topic. Thank you. Also, Phyllis Hyman, yeah, like
he's like word.
You know what I mean?
You might be there. Anyways, so we're discussing, we're making jokes about the Razer phone, we're making jokes about the OLED, which is fantastic. I get it. It's old, it's archaic, it's technology nobody really cares about. It's ugly, as Brian says, aesthetically it's not pleasing. But I would like to point out that CES was what, a week and a half ago? And one of the biggest things that everybody saw at CES that we're excited about was an OLED TV that rolled up.
I saw that. It rolled up from the little thing that looked like a sound.
That was a huge thing. Now, mind you, it's like little pieces that like roll all the way up and then it rolls all the way down. It's still a screen. It's still an OLED. Yeah, it's neat, but we're still OLED technology. So when you like, oh, Razer, it's OLED, and I'm like, apparently there's a market for that because people are all excited about a TV that's OLED.
Well, and again, I asked for the same thing for the TV. Who is this for? Why do I need a TV that roll up?
I don't know. I have no idea, but apparently enough that people are excited about it, and technophiles are like, yes, I need a TV that rolls. And I was like, it's just fancy.
Like, it's not even like we do LAN parties anymore where you would be in the market to take a damn TV with you. We don't do LAN parties no more.
Could you imagine like just taking the TV with you? Be like, hold on a second, guys. Look at the TV and like walk away and like a rug, like hold on a second, I'm gonna go plug this into my boy's house and like roll it up and like, guys, 10 seconds, we're gonna play games. Like
his own son. Go tell Phyllis. Like go tell Phyllis in 10 seconds or so. But no, so when we talked about this 3 years ago, as a marketing major, I was talking about the opportunities because they were already talking about it. Like the slap bracelets, you can make slap bracelets with OLEDs. You could put OLEDs in T-shirts. Sure. Put OLEDs everywhere, right? There are OLEDs rolling around here in Oklahoma City on cars right now. So like the opportunities, the marketing opportunities that flexible OLEDs present are mind-boggling and really can change the game as far as which is constant exposure, which we all have, right? Agreed. So I think that while that technology is right now currently in its infancy, I think that its power and its reach and an expressive I guess its expressive nature, are things that we haven't really yet understood in the advertising and marketing world. And I think that it's going to take a while for us to really truly understand how unique that thing will be.
Agreed.
Yeah. My man Kevin Kessler in the chat. You know what? Just Kev. My man Kev in the chat said, I would use a roll-up TV if I lived in a tiny apartment in New York City or something. And I'm like, a flat screen wouldn't do. Like, if a flat screen don't cut it, then maybe you just need to get a projector and you know, put that thing on the ceiling.
So Mike, I'm gonna stop you right there. So Kevin, glad to see you hop in the chat, brother. Yeah. Always excited to have you here. Fan of the he's. I play games with him on Monday. You know Kevin, Larry. You know, he's our resident ranger on Divinity. But at the same time, like, think about a place on the East Coast. Like, that property is not super big. It's expensive for what you're going to get. Yeah. So yeah, a projector would be ideal if you lived in like Texas or like Kansas, where you have a house that's like the same price as an apartment on the East Coast. So when you go to the East Coast, you're like really consolidating on size. So a roll-up TV makes sense, 100%.
That's what you're saying.
How does a roll-up TV over a flat screen?
It's like this big, and then it like rolls up, and then it rolls down.
Here's the thing, Mike. It's about footprint space, man. You live on the East Coast. You know that every hotel in the East Coast is like a closet out here in Midwest. Like, it makes no sense. And so for a projector, you have to have throw distance. Right, I used to sell projectors at Dell, so you have to have a certain distance where you can throw it and maximize the size of the image. Whereas you might not have that in a studio apartment in New York that's only 600 to 800 square feet. You may not have that throw distance, right? So getting a flexible OLED that is literally 3 pounds to hang on the wall is probably viable. So yeah, I think it's a little different. Yeah, I think that does make that does make some sense. I think that does make sense. Also, OLED is more than likely brighter than your average cost-effective projector as far as lumens are concerned.
Agreed.
Especially with those with HDR and things like that. So where their luminance is much higher. So
would agree.
So, but yeah, that's my nerd. I'm nerding out for that. Actually, now we're gonna continue nerding out because, like I said, I only have 2 more topics and they're gonna be real quick.
Lord.
It's gonna be quick, I promise. That's what she said. So listen, Dragon Age 4. You guys were talking about the Dragon Age 4 trailer, and I wanted to clear it up. Corey and Brian. I was listening to the podcast, and Brian, you were utterly befuddled at the time. It's like, you understand who this announcement was for. You was like, I don't understand why. And so let me go ahead and explain it to you. So these are spoilers for Dragon Age Inquisition, right? So at the Dragon Age Inquisition had,
I ain't finished it yet.
No, it's not for the game. It's for DLC. It's the Trespasser DLC.
Well, I ain't played that either.
Okay. Well, this has been 3 years. So
listen, it's the end of the podcast. You're just gonna get spoilers. That's how this is gonna go.
No, I'm just doing that. I'm just doing that to him because he's Mr. Don't spoil me on anything.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say this. So at the end of Trespasser DLC, after you go through and you fight and you go through one betrayal, you find out, because at the end of the main story, Solus just leaves. He just leaves. At the end of it, you find out who he is. This is why this Dreadwolf trailer, the Dreadwolf Rises trailer, was so important. The second you run into him and the DLC, he says, I see you found me. I presume you have questions. And so you come to find out that he is the Dreadwolf Fenrail or Fenrail from the lore. You find out that's who he is. Not reincarnated, that's just who he is. And what makes Dragon Age Inquisition so cool, that's why it's called the Dreadwolf Rises. This is the continuation of the story. But the continuation of the story is that he has to take down some of the old gods. And if you know, in Dragon Age Inquisition, he wanted to try to bring the Fade, which is the realm in between life and death. He wanted to bring that back down on Earth as it was before.
Wasn't the Fade the shitty part of Dragon Age 1?
It was. However, in Dragon Age Inquisition, the Fade is stinking awesome. It is greatness, sir. I finished that game 3 times now. But nevertheless, the point is, that's why that trailer is so awesome, just because the revelation you get at the end of Dragon Age Inquisition, combined with the continuance of it in Trespasser, all culminating in the strength of the story that deals with all the old gods that they praise in the Chantry and everything like that, with the mixture of the Dalish gods. Like, man, that thing is so complete. Just the the depths of which that story can go based upon the ingenious writing that they did through Inquisition is really, really staggering. So that's why I am mad excited for that game. Like, that's why I'm mad. Right. So you ask, well, like, why people excited? That's why people are excited, man. Because it literally ties into pretty much every piece of lore in Dragon Age with what they can do in the next game. And yet, it will be a sequel to Inquisition.
So with the last time I was on, we talked about Mass Effect, and we've talked about BioWare, and we've talked their amazing storytelling. And this is just one of the things that we see that people are excited because we get that storytelling.
Yeah. So. Oh man. Yeah, absolutely. And if you haven't played Inquisition yet, I mean, come on. I mean, it's 2019. Game came out what, in 2015, 2016? Like, man, y'all need to get on it.
Wasn't it just free on the Xbox store or PlayStation store like not too long ago? Like, it literally was on. Maybe if you had Xbox
EA access.
Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah, it's on EA access.
Yeah,
it was the EA access. Like, there's really no reason that you haven't been able to play it yet. Like, it's accessible. It's in so many different platforms. Just get it.
But it starts so slow. Like, I couldn't get past that.
It's valid. It's the Citadel all over again out there in the hinterlands. But once you get going, it is a solid 60-hour story. If you do a lot of the content, it's really, really, really good.
See, I don't really care about Dragon Age. Let me ask you a question, Brian.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about braiding your beard?
I brought that up earlier. I'm like, he could throw some rolls in that piece, man. Like,
I mean, Viking, go Viking.
I haven't, but I mean, I would.
Yeah. And then have somebody like cut the size of your hair real short and put For Odin on the side.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
With lightning bolts on the other side. My man.
You gotta hit the barbershop for that though.
This needs to happen for the reunion. Like, I remember the Facetious reunion. They all get together and like Brian's like bearded out Nordic style. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
that'd be greatness. That would be greatness.
5 years from now, yeah, that's it. I got you.
Yeah, all right.
I got you.
Wearing a Leif Erikson t-shirt. Like, that would be so that would be greatness, man.
Yo, you know what? It made me think. I thought about Encyclopedia today because you just said Leif Erikson, so the song from Encyclopedia just popped in my head. Mm-hmm. You know the HBO show?
No, I don't know.
Y'all ain't never watched Encyclopedia? Oh, I guess I'm the old person. But I was also thinking about because for some reason I woke up with the Babysitters Club theme in my head this morning, and it made me start thinking like Encyclopedia Brown and all that other stuff that was on HBO back in the day.
Okay.
And then you brought up Leif Erikson, and then I thought of the Leif Erikson song from Encyclopedia. I'm gonna get that link because I don't want y'all to think I'm crazy.
Okay. That'll be good. Now, Corey, you had mentioned earlier that you made a comment about PAX South that you just attended, right? That you just went through, and I'm mad I couldn't make it this year, but next year I should be good. Next year I should be good. So, man, one thing, tell us anything you want to tell us about PAX South, man, that you found cool, or just anything at all. You know?
So PAX South is spectacular.
Right.
Again, just great board games. I had a couple negatives and a couple positives. A couple positives were the game show floor this time. So PlayStation last year at PAX South ended up having the Monster Hunter booth, and they had a huge booth with like a huge dragon like breathing down on you. It was awesome, and we're like, Monster Hunter, yeah, and like everybody was geared for it and trying to play it, and like, well, it's so good, blah. But then this year, they just had Resident Evil 2. So they had a much smaller location. They had a much smaller booth. They didn't have a biggest presence. But it was nice to see that Sony has been here, especially after they've just told us that they're not going to be at E3 this year. Yeah. So it's nice to see that presence at another convention that's more intimate, right? So that was really cool. Lots of amazing cosplay. The cosplay here, I feel that at PAX South, the cosplay gets better every year.
Dude,
this so good.
I still got a picture from when I was at PAX South last, where I took a picture with an Asari. Legit.
Okay.
Absolutely legit. And
remember my man, the brother that was dressed up as Commander Shepard? Like, you get a picture with that dude?
I got a picture with him too, and with the dude dressed up like Ezio. It was legit, B. And but I do got a question, man. Was the PAX Funk any better this year?
Yeah, way better.
Oh, good.
Way better. People were. It was not. Now, mind you, I didn't go on Sunday, so like that's the day that like everybody just kind of like falls off the wagon. Right. But so Friday and Saturday on point.
On point.
Good to go.
I'm telling you, man. When I went down there, I felt like wearing one of those SARS masks that they always wear. Right?
So
we were having a conversation. We were having a conversation that they needed to put the
misting booths.
Like misting booths at the doorways of Axe body spray, at least for everybody that walked in that joint.
Right.
Like, I mean,
or
my first time at PAX, and I will say this, when we went to that party,
I
walked past somebody on the stairwell that I swear I don't think that dude has ever heard of deodorant.
Man, it's like that dude it's like he had some type of affliction that was exaggerated by water. Like it was bad. He was like the dirty D of underarm funk.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's tough, man. So
Brian, you were just here. You were here for the last PAX.
2
years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Did you get the funk? Did you get a lot of funk when you were here?
You know, I don't. Maybe my nose is just set to burnt toast because I didn't really feel like it was as bad.
Yeah. After a while, you just got to turn your nose off.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But it didn't seem terrible. Also, shout out to Mark Smith, Uridium 242 in the
is he
there?
Yeah, sure. We see you, dog.
Yeah, I see you, man. I see you, Mark. Yeah, yes, sir. So
so hold on. I got two more things. I got two things, and then we'll move on to the last thing.
All right.
So PAX
that means we have three things.
I have two things. No, so times two. Two things.
Bruh man from the fifth floor.
From the fifth floor, bro, man, from the fifth floor. Anyways, why did we go to Living Single? Well, never mind.
That's Martin. Like, is that Martin? Stuff up.
Yep.
You stuff up.
Well, you started, Mike. Shh.
You missed.
I did. Listen, that was a long time ago. That's the nostalgia, like bringing it back.
A leeway. He's been drinking.
I have been drinking. So yes, cosplay was great. Sony booth was great. Jump Force had a huge.
I'm looking forward to that, man.
Presence. Like the line on Saturday was ridiculous. The line on Friday was ridiculous. I heard it died down on Sunday, but everybody was excited for Jump Force. So those are probably the most exciting things there at PAX this year. Things that sucked. Lots of games that have been there for the past 4 years that are either being kickstarted or haven't been deployed yet or aren't live on anything.
Okay.
Still there. Perfect example, Tunic by Finji Games. Great game. I've been waiting for this game ever since I started at PAX. My kids have played this game every year at PAX. Guess what? Still alive.
Y'all need to stop paying for this Kickstarter stuff. Like, I ain't never kickstarted nothing. Y'all need to stop paying for this because, like, y'all pay for it and it's like, cool, we're going to bring this back to PAX. Is the game out yet? Can I play something? No, we just going to go back to PAX. We're going to spend a little bit of this money that we got from y'all.
Just so you know, Mike, there's a game I kickstarted 6 years ago. 7 years ago. It's finally coming out.
Holy I know what the game that is.
Like, look, if I kickstart a game, because I want a cheap copy or something like that, I'm gonna do the Kickstarter thing at the very end. Like, I'm gonna wait till like the game is like already right, and then I'm gonna do it. Or I'm just gonna wait till it goes early access. Like, I'll do the early access. I'm not kickstarting no game that I ain't got nothing to show for it for quite some time.
Right.
Well, you end up with a game like Tunic. So Tunic is an amazing Fox game that's very similar to like the old school Legend of Zelda, which is really neat. It's a beautiful game, very well done.
Yeah, I'm already out.
But the issue with the game is that it's only developed by one person. Very similar to like how Stardew Valley and Chucklefish. Like, that was a single guy.
Banished was made by one person. RimWorld was made by one person. I don't want to hear that.
Ooh, savage. How long was RimWorld in production? That's the question.
It was in early access for 5 years, but it was playable.
There you go. Playable. There you go. So we're only on year 4 for Tunic. We got 1 more year to get released.
It was playable. Like,
Tunic is playable at PAX. We're totally playable.
No. It was early access, which means I had a game to play, and he just innovated on the game.
I'm sure there's a tier of Tunic that I can play if I buy it more, and I get so extra. But that's the thing is that, like, and I was talking to my brother, and we were discussing, like, games. If you're an indie developer, and the average length of a game to get released as an indie developer is 5 years minimum. So whenever you kickstart something or you want to support somebody or you're super excited and want to throw all this money at somebody, realize that the minimum is going to be 5 years to get whatever that game is. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. So let me wait until like 4 3/4.
It's like November on year 4. All right, I'll spend $20.
Was that pre-order? So Tunic made, I think they made Xbox's reel, like they made their montage reel at E3, and I'm looking at
year though. Which year though?
I mean, yeah, every year. But no, I think it made it, and it's little studios like that, like developers like that who are creative and have ideas and have some type of tangible product in front of them that Microsoft should be out going and buying and like actually giving those people development room in their studios, right? Those are the people they should be hiring, I firmly believe. But my question, but one thing is sad though, I remember my 2 years at PAX South, man, Dreadnought was like the biggest game on the floor. And it came out and it's 6 out of 10 on Steam. Like it's saddening. It's saddening, man. Because they so much money in marketing on that game.
So Kessler makes it.
He said Wasteland 2 was awesome.
So yeah, so let's find out what Kessler makes a very good point. So Wasteland 2 was kickstarted, and Wasteland 2 is a great game that got good reviews. It's 9 out of 10 on Steam, and it was one of those things that was really supposed to be released at one time and then got like delayed. I think it was originally supposed to be released back in October. Hold on a second, 2013.
But with this Kickstarter stuff, that seems to be the exception, not the rule.
Right, that's the exception on the rule. You could get a game that's like released like the day that they say it comes out, and when you get it, guess what? It's probably garbage because they're just trying to meet goals. And then you get these games that get extended, and then the game comes out, and everybody's all like, "Holy crap, this is like the best thing I've ever played," because they're spending the time to invest into it because they would rather put out a good product than they do actually want to just meet.
Then keep your money and stop going to PAX.
I gotta go to PAX. I still need board games. That's if I don't do video games.
I mean for the people. He meant the people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, keep your money.
I agree. And I actually talked to one of the guys who worked on the sound design for Tunic, and he said the same thing. He's all like, "Listen, I was like, hey, you've been here for 4 years. We see the same demo every time. What's going on?" And he goes, "Well, the developer would love to actually build more stuff for the demo, but it makes more sense to take that time and develop the game to have something to release in the next year than it is to spend that time on the demo." And that's really what it comes down to, is do you release a demo to get the sizzle and like next year at E3, see whatever it looks like? Is it getting better? Nobody cares. But when the game is released, that's when it's most important.
And I could tell you guys, so one of the games that I kickstarted that I saw at PAX South that finally released this year and released to really good reviews was Lightfall. And I don't know if you guys remember that game, but that game is a platform in the spirit of Ori and the Blind Forest. Not as difficult, but
sad.
Not as sad, right? You don't need Kleenexes, but it is a really good game.
Mark said Star Citizen.
Star Citizen.
Oh, shit.
Man. Look here, man. Star Citizen, I think of Star Citizen as Hustle Man on the corner. Like he got a little bit of everything. Like he got cologne, he got them good bootlegs. Like he got everything that you need.
He got a saxophone with a kazoo on the end.
Right. He got the fake Jordans. He got everything.
Star Citizen has been in development since 2011. It has been kickstarted since then. So like,
with how many millions though? Like it's what?
Oh, it's probably one of the highest.
115 million or something like that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Something ridiculous.
But we keep throwing money at it because we're gonna get that alpha.
When you say we, you mean you all.
Oh yeah,
I haven't even thrown anything at it.
You mean y'all? You mean them? Because I ain't buying my damn.
Mike's like, nope, I'm out.
Okay, so
I've never kickstarted anything. Actually.
So it says here on Kickstarter, Star Citizen raised 2,034,397 backers pledged. 2 million. 2 million.
So here's the thing: if I kickstart something, it has to be something physical. If I'm going to kickstart something, I'm going to kickstart a physical game. I'm going to kickstart a product. I'm going to kickstart something that's going to be delivered to my house in a box. That's what I deliver, and that's what I want. That's what I get.
Board games are awesome to kickstart.
Yeah, on Kickstarter, great,
man, because they do so much. They do so much extra stuff too on board games. Because when I was at PAX South, they were like, yeah, if you pre-order this, like, and I've been listening to podcasts, they're like, yeah, well, we do in there like this figurine, and at this amount of money, we'll throw in a second figurine, and I'm like, man, y'all throwing in all these different things, and That's what's up. I mean, but Mark says, Erie says that the Star Citizen is the only game that sells real estate.
Oh, this is true. Yeah. This is very true. Yeah.
So there's some people who have dropped some serious money into that game.
Not me. Hashtag not it.
Oh no, but I thought, but like,
it says 5.5 million.
Second Life and what you calling sells real estate too, right?
Well, Eve technically does, right?
Yeah, Eve that was the other game.
Yeah. Eve technically does. So, can you benefit off of it? I'm sure you can. But like, are you willing to put that money forward to get involved and make that long trek? And 8 years later, like, still don't have a game, but I bought the most amazing real estate ever.
I don't know, man.
Check out my casino though.
Right, come on now.
Can't play nothing right now, but like, bro, when you gonna be able to play
next patch. It'll be a next patch.
Y'all want to load them credits? I got you. Let's get on this Quasar. Like, I mean, I know that's Mass Effect, but let's get on this Quasar machine. Man, Star Citizen got that hustle, dog, for real. It's unreal. All right, fellas, we freeballing now. What y'all want to talk about, man?
All right, I want to start real quick. Okay. I want to give you a huge shout out for watching Sakai K.
Psyche. So Psyche he's the psychic kid, right? He's the psychic kid in high school.
Where everything he does just goes wrong, and he keeps getting all the craziest people to come or hang out with him and whatever, and he's like trying not to be their friends, and
it's funny.
His friends.
He is the biggest loner in life, but everybody wants to be his friend. Like, they think he's the coolest dude, and he's like, I just want y'all to get away from me. I want y'all to leave me alone.
I need some space.
And they just
just go away. So you want to do something after? We're thinking, no. I want to go away. And there's like 7 of them.
Yeah.
It's just how did hilarious. I get
here? It's good, man. It's pretty funny. And I think they left it open. But I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to do a third season either, man.
Do anything more, but I love that show. I was so excited when I heard you on the podcast when you said you were watching it.
Yeah, man. See, yeah, you're right, Corey. Corey asked the chat, what are we going to talk about next? Yeah, y'all give us some ideas, man, because right now I just like kicking it with people I like talking to. So that's what we're doing right now. So,
for sure.
Yo, let me tell y'all something.
Uh-oh.
So I watched through the first 2 seasons of Future Man.
Oh yeah, I'm almost at the end of the second season.
I heard about. Yeah, you were talking about that. Yeah.
I really like Future Man.
You know why? It's a popcorn show. It's so good. You can just keep watching episodes, and you're like, I'm just gonna keep going. Going.
Yeah, and it's one of those shows where you just kind of like the most important thing is like trying to catch all of the references.
Okay.
There's a ton of references, including one Back to the Future reference.
Oh my god! Yeah.
That was like, when you find out, he thinks he's doing the Back to the Future thing, and it turns out that he didn't. Like, that's a huge thing, and I ain't gonna spoil it for you. But like, my man, I See Dead People plays in that, and I kept wondering like the whole time. Like, why do I know this dude? Because he's like an older chubby dude now, and like, you know what I mean? Like, but man, he is the best in this show.
Nice, man.
Because he has to play different versions of himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he has to play. He plays like just the normal guy. Then he plays the one where he's the boss. Then there's the one where he's the guy that's being stepped on. And then there's, and then he plays a different type of character of himself in the future. And like all of this kind of crazy stuff. Like, and he's just, that dude, as a kid, we kept saying that dude can act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like Haley Joel Osment, I just keep calling him I See Dead People. But Haley Joel Osment,
no, her brother Daniel Osment. But keep going.
Right.
But Haley Joel Osment can really act.
Okay.
And I'm wondering what else that we're going to be able to see him get into, because I See Dead People is back, bro. Like, for real.
Like, hey, reclaim that thing.
He was just in what? He was in Silicon Valley. He was in Silicon Valley, and he was playing a character for a while in the not the current season, but the last season, and he was spectacular. He was great. He embodied everything California. It was like his character was dynamic, and then I found out he was a Future Man. I was like, okay, I'm in. So I was like, let's watch. And Haley Joel Osment is spectacular.
He's he voices a character in 2K.
Nice.
2K19.
Nice.
What?
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So So Mark hit us up with 3 quick questions, y'all. So let's go on them in reverse order real quick, because I think the first one he asked is going to make more of an impact on us. So no best supporting actor for Michael Jordan, yet Black Panther is nominated for like 6 Oscars.
But they didn't get nominated for any of the actor spots.
Right. So he's
Wakanda forever.
But
you know what? You all right with me? You was all right. You was all right.
You know what? I don't think they deserved it, because Black Panther is greater than the sum of its parts. So I understand why one actor here or one actor there didn't get singled out, because together they made something special. And if you single one of them out, it diminishes the whole product to me.
I don't know. I think that's a weakened argument, because how many people left the theater being like, you know what? He was kind of right. Because guess what? T'Challa left the theater like, you know what? He was kind of right. I mean, so what you gonna say?
He was also like way wrong. Like for real. Like his the way he treated women, and like his most important statement of the whole movie is like, bury me in the sea where my ancestors that slavery and blah 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 jumped into the ocean because they knew bondage, blah blah blah, whatever. Well, if they jumped into the ocean and killed themselves, they're not your ancestors. So like that completely.
It's kind of valid. It's kind of valid.
So like, no, I'm not trying to, like, when you first watch the movie, it's like, okay, cool. Like, but like, let's be honest, like the fact that they were nominated for Best Picture, like no other superhero movie has ever been nominated for Best Picture. Like, if they can pull that off, that is the feat that you want. I don't care about these individual things, because collectively they made a masterpiece. But like, so I don't care about the individual stuff. He didn't get nominated. Cool.
Well, so I'm going to go back to Michael B. Jordan, because like I'm a huge fan of Michael B. Jordan. But if I'm going to give him an award for something, I'm going to give him an award for like Creed. Or Creed 2, right? Or like Fahrenheit. Hold on. Fahrenheit 451. Fahrenheit 451.
Damn it.
Okay, that's fine. But that's the thing. Like, if you're going to separate these people and we're going to start breaking them out for their other roles, I'm not giving that to Black Panther. But if you do as a whole, like Mike says, as a movie, 100% on board. As a whole product, 100% Best Picture. Hell yeah.
It made that nomination. So
that character means nothing if T'Challa wasn't there to bounce everything off of.
I understand, but that's
Correct.
part of the writing. But I still think his display of that character and his motivations was still very well done.
Sure.
So, and I'm not here to advocate for it. I agree with you. If he's going to get anything,
his motivation was weak sauce. Let's.
But hold on. But
his motivation wasn't weak. Dog, kill his dad, B.
But
his dad killed his.
Oh yeah, because parents don't die in comic books. That never fucking happens.
They killed his dad when he was a little kid.
And that never happens. Cough, cough, Batman.
Right.
And he went into the military to learn all of this stuff. And then how long has it been since he'd been out of the military before he decided to go to Wakanda and tried to do some long thing to go around it? Bro, you already had the thing inside your lip. You could have just went to Wakanda, dog. Like, for real?
Oh my God! Can I have a variant of the movie of just like the king of the not T'Challa, his dad, right? Like sitting there, some kid roll up and be like, "Yo, dog, I'm gonna whoop your ass. You want to play Fortnite?"
No,
yeah, you
what you do is, instead of going all the way around all of this stuff, you go to Wakanda, you assimilate, and you destroy it from the inside.
Sure, absolutely, but that didn't happen. So what we ended up with was a very typical comic book hero and villain story.
When you really think about it, it was kind of some bullshit.
Oh,
Mike, you done degraded all the way down to this view now.
Wakanda forever, dog.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Throwing up the dubs. All right, so his second question is most anticipated title for PS4, X1, and Switch 2019.
This year? Ooh.
Oh, Corey's gonna say nothing. Corey hates
everything. We all know.
Corey hates
we all know it's Maple Story 3 for Corey. We all know it's Maple Story 3.
Yeah. Corey's just that's it. Corey's just playing Maple Story 2. That's all.
So
I saw that popped up in my Google. And I was like, why did this pop up here? I know Google be listening, and maybe it's listening when I listen to the podcast, but I saw it pop up in my recommendations for Google, and I'm just like, oh, we can't do this right now.
My Alexa's yelling at me now. She's all like, download Maple Story 3. I'm like, no, stop it.
Leave it alone.
So here's my thing. So Sony blew its wad last year. Sony released amazing games.
I heard your take on that today.
Marvel Spider-Man. It released Red Dead Redemption 2. It released all God of War. Like, we have all these amazing games that won all these awards. And like, we're putting them out in the fall. We're putting them out in the summer. What?
All these amazing games that died in 2 weeks.
Well, that's games these days, right? Like, if it's not online, that's pretty much a game. Like, it's short-lived.
Other games like even Destiny had a long tail before people started getting about it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
but Red Dead had a much shorter run at the top than we all thought.
Sure.
But his run at the top was real quick.
I have a huge complaint about Red Dead Redemption. All the people who are like, you know what? You just have to wait like the 40 hours until it gets good. But those are the same people who complain about every other game that you have to like.
Yep.
I tried to justify that that Final Fantasy game. See, I don't play Final Fantasy games.
Yeah,
so I'm
13.
Yeah, where it's like, man, the real game comes once you get like 60 hours in.
Like 20 hours. After 20 hours, yeah, B. Yeah,
60 hours just so the game can open up. Open these nuts, bitch. Like, why do I do that?
But those are the same people who are like now going, well, in Red Dead Redemption, you just have to get past that first 40 or 50 hours. And then you're like, wait, what?
I'm sorry, man. Any game where I got to do the same chores I do in real life, I'm out. If I gotta go in there,
hold on. As a person that plays cough World of Warcraft, that's exactly it.
I guess so. I guess that's World of Warcraft. I don't do it.
So wait, hold on. So are you guys not excited about this? As a person that plays PlayStation, nothing excites me. Are you excited for Anthem?
Yeah, and that was his question.
I'm cautious.
Mark asked, "Will Anthem have an impact in 2019?"
No.
It solely depends on two things. It depends on if BioWare's competitive advantage sticks out, their writing and their ability to write a story and with characters you care about. If that can stick out, number one, and number two, if they get this end game, which they call the Elder Game, if they get their Elder Game right, those are the two things that are going to make a difference in that thing, because you got the Division 2 dropping. You just had Destiny 2 release some I guess a big expansion, right? So you have those things that currently exist. You also have these other games that I have online components like Red Dead and Far Cry 5. I guess you're going to have the new Far Cry that comes out as the sequel to that. So there's going to be competition. Crackdown 3 is supposedly finally supposed to release.
Man, ain't nobody still waiting on Crackdown.
I'm just saying it's supposed to release this year. It's supposed to have it's a lot of head shaking.
Crackdown is the dad that went to the store to get some cigarettes 10 years ago
and never came back.
Never came back. Like, that's Crackdown 3. Like, for real. We still kind of holding out a little bit of hope that dad gonna come back, but come on, bro.
But we say that because Anthem, really, if you come down to it, next year is the big release for Sony. Like, Anthem, what are your other options? Metro Exodus, which is very niche.
But it's not the same, though. Right?
It's not the same. Days Gone.
Days Gone, that's a Sony joint.
It is a Sony joint.
Days Gone. Days Gone looks like ass cheeks. Like, no,
it does.
Yeah, it does look like.
It's one of those games like it's coming out, and nobody, not a single person do I know that comes over and goes, "Hey, man, you're gonna pre-order Days Gone?" Nobody. It's not gonna happen.
Like, every trailer ends the same way. There's a million things coming at dude, and we like, how the fuck he gonna get out of this?
Ain't nobody got time.
Like, all right, it's gone. Title screen. Like, what the?
So the biggest competitor with Anthem on Sony right now is Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3.
You think Shenmue 3 is the biggest?
It's the only thing on Sony platform right now that will compete with Anthem. As we're talking about Sony, we're not talking about PC, we're not talking about Xbox. We're legit talking about just like Sony for 2019.
Last of Us?
Yeah, Last of Us 2.
No.
That samurai game that look cool as fuck?
You're not talking about Sekiro. Oh, you're talking about Ghost of Tsushima. Well, they don't know if that's going to actually
that's not good. There's no confirmation that's happening this year.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is Ghost of Tsushima. But here's the thing. Sony... So I kind of disagree with what Corey was saying on the show, because he was saying that, Sony can like sit on its laurels because they don't have to do anything this year. But look, they do have a lead this generation. But the question is, here's the thing. They cannot leave a sour taste in people's mouth coming into the new generation.
They can. They absolutely can.
No, if they do, they're going to feel all of that, son.
They literally just told everybody to piss off. They're not going to E3. That means they have nothing to present.
Well, here's the thing. I would rather Sony not waste my time taking me from barn to barn at an E3 conference.
Hey, this is Last of Us 2.
Okay, so
it's like a circus.
Right. Like what was the worst choice? What was the worst choice? I'm gonna ask you this. I just listened to a podcast on the history of fun about E3. What was the worst choice? Barn to barn, or when Microsoft tried to do those light up ponchos?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with option
ponchos.
C.
I agree with Brian. Ponchos for sure.
Listen, I'm gonna go with option C. The banjo on the stage, like for Last of Us 2. He came out there.
No,
come on, son.
It was like every one of those started with some sort of music, and it was like, and they didn't explain nothing. It's
right.
Just with a banjo, and I'm like, why is it just a nigga with a banjo right now? And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, we're gonna move to the other area, and now it's nigga with a pan flute. Like, what's happening here?
If y'all want to listen to that, me and Mike actually watched that live, and it's on the stream. It's on the Facetious stream. We laughed for 5-10 minutes. I think Casual Terror was on there with us, like, what is going on? I think Will was on there too, man. It was like, what is going on right now? So, but yeah, man, it's so to answer your question, do I think Anthem will make an impact? Mark, I think it has the opportunity to do so. However, if EA gets in the way, which is likely, it all depends on it all up.
It all depends on EA, because EA is the reason why Andromeda failed.
EA will never get in the way, guys. Come on. Like, how does that ever happen?
Yeah.
Cough, cough, sarcasm.
Cough, cough. They keep fucking up all of the Star Wars games that they keep trying to make.
Oh, my God.
You mean the one that they're not releasing? No.
Right. The other one that they canceled.
The one they canceled? Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Did they cancel like 3 of them already?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So 1313, and then the other one that Amy Hennig
and then
kind of took over.
And then just now they did Orca. They've canceled Orca.
And so here's the thing. EA, you spent all that money for a license only to not make the games.
Well, the only thing you made was 2 Battlefront games.
Okay.
Go, Brian, go.
Oh no, I was gonna say, Larry, since you are always the one who always talks business, it's EA probably sees it. It's better that they don't put out a game than another company put out a game and take the money that they could be making.
And here's the thing. I understand that opportunity cost. However, there is no opportunity cost for them right now as far as Star Wars is concerned, because they're the sole holder of the license, right? So they're not doing that. The thing is, they're missing these windows, and the problem is, I think EA only sees money when it comes in this certain package that's similar to like a Division or Battlefront, right? Where it's this large online component where there's where it's continually updated.
Disney needs to pull a Netflix and like, let me hold my shit back. Like, for real.
Kevin says 1.5 Battlefront games. You right, because the first one didn't have a standalone campaign. That's valid. That's valid.
I don't know, because I played a little bit of the first one. Like I played less than an hour of the first one. And
here's the thing.
Bunch of the second one. I did want to play the campaign. I just never really got around to it.
I've had the second one since Black Friday, and still haven't even downloaded it yet because I wanna play the single player. I played a little bit of it on PS4, but I got it on PC, right? And Kevin said he's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get Anthem unless 3 of his friends get Anthem, and I'm not gonna get Anthem until.
I hope you got an Xbox, because everybody with EA access already got it.
Yep.
We good.
And here's the thing: EA Origin Access is actually going to work on PC, and so I want some people to play on PC. But then they asked Mark Dara. They said, "Hey, what's going to happen, man? What's going to happen about cross-platform play?" And he said, "Not at launch," which means they're going to get it. Which I'm hoping they get it. So if they get cross-platform play, then I'll get it on PC and I can play it with everyone else. With everyone on every other platform.
Okay, yeah. So that's what.
As long as they ain't got no verses, we good. And like as long as we get Team XP.
Hold on. You're gonna tell me that someone in this day and age is gonna release a game with no PvP? Highly unlikely.
Yeah,
it's not gonna have it at launch, no matter what.
But they might have Battle Royale. You don't know.
Battle Royale. A Battle Royale in that game.
So you're gonna launch everybody with parachutes, naked, and then we got suits.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I hate the concept of Battle Royale. I've never actually tried it because I'm just at all.
You're not missing a whole lot. Basically, you fly down from the sky and you get shot and you die and you have to do it all over again.
Yep, yeah, summarily.
Hey,
anything.
Hey, get good, bro.
It's valid.
Well,
it's valid.
I got something in my eye for you.
So, Kevin says, EA should do what Microsoft does and do multi-platform, which they will. I mean, that's EA's strategy, right? They are and they I think they will though. I think if
go ahead.
Why not, Corey? Why not?
No, go ahead. I'm listening. Multi-platform.
No, okay. So I think here's the thing. EA as a branding initiative, making your games multi-platform is probably the best way to go. Simply because you grow your community instead of segregating or trifurcating your community, splitting them out to 3 different platforms. You actually bring them all together and coalesce them into one thriving community. So, as far as getting support, talking to everyone, getting more feedback, you have a bigger feedback pool. You have a larger test pool, and you also have just a more, I guess, a more continuous communication channel with everyone involved.
Not going to happen.
How much closer are we to the one console future? I just rather all of this shit be done.
Right. Somebody called Dennis Diet.
Think of this stupid ass console war nonsense.
Stop getting consoles. Just get a PC where you can hook up a controller and do the exact same thing.
But I don't really want to play a whole bunch of games sitting in my desk.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. Go get a Steam box for like $1 and just put it.
Just buy you an extended HDMI cable. That's what I did.
Just make a long cable and call it a day. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Thank you.
I do got a Steam link. I ain't look. I opened.
You ain't hooking up. That's what happened. You haven't hooked it up. That's why you aren't doing it.
This is what happens, right? This is what happened. They made this.
What had happened was
they made this $1.50, and I kind of felt like it was something that I got from Dollar Tree. Like you might be at Dollar Tree, and you see like a cool little vase or something like that.
It's fancy. That'd be on my dining room table.
That's so fancy.
I have no reason to really.
You never put it out.
Like I've even went to Dollar Tree, bought some vases, and I painted them. I have at least 2 of them that I painted, and I have no reason to use this vase because I know underneath that paint it's still a Dollar Tree vase.
That's valid.
This is true. So basically, the Steam controller is the Dollar Tree vase. Got it. No, you said that. You said that's the controller.
I got to say, nobody wants that controller.
I do. I absolutely do. The haptic response
from the very beginning. That controller is the worst idea. They had somebody in that fucking room that said, this doesn't make any fucking sense, people. Like, this controller ignores the language of fucking video games.
Oh my God.
This is stupid. Like, the fact that you understand, like, okay, if you've never played a game before, and like, say you're playing a shooter, right? And I put a controller in your hand and I tell you, Call of Duty controls. You know exactly what to do.
No, I don't, because I play on PC like a real person.
See, I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cough, cough. PC Master Race. Learn to WASD on a real first-person shooter.
Can't.
But I mean, like, if you want like non-responsive garbage,
PC, but I don't play shooters on PC.
What? So you're not good?
Except for Killing Floor 2, but I play that with a controller.
Oh my God, Killing Floor 2 requires no skill whatsoever. You walk into a room and shoot 1,000 people and don't have to aim and just pray to God, pray and spray. You know what I also play the games like that? Role-playing games where I don't have to do anything. I just point and click. It's like that.
Controllers right here, though.
Are we showing the controllers again?
Y'all silly, man. Hey guys.
No, stop it, Brian. I need you to put that Switch controller away because I don't know what anybody would do. No.
Stop it. I just bought some Switch games, yo.
Oh God, nice. The Switch thing hurts. Like, I don't know how you guys do. Anyways, can we go back to EA just for a second? Just for a second. And about EA, because how you're talking about multi-platform, they're never going multi-platform, and this is why.
Okay.
EA is not a company based about community. They're
multi-platform. Are we talking cross-platform?
Talking cross-platform.
That was awesome, Brian. That's classic as hell. Cross-platform. They're not doing cross-platform anyways. You know why?
Which?
No. I do have one of those though. I have one of those.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the one for the Switch that looks like that.
Hold on, show it. Oh, you do.
The one you get to buy from Nintendo. Yep, I got it.
Is it actually licensed by Nintendo?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I literally bought it from the Nintendo website. You can only buy it if you have the Nintendo Online, and that's what it is. It's an actual Nintendo controller.
No.
So you think they won't do it because they're not community based, right?
They're not community based. EA is based off of making money. That's what they do. You know why? Because so is Activision, which we've already seen what's happening with Activision and why we have a whole bunch of lawsuits happening and everybody investigating about their shit because they're invested about money, not about community.
But here's my point. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey. Go ahead.
The reason that I point this out is because they're going to a market that is no longer what does EA have that is actually EA based? Sports games. And those have been dropping off lately. Like FIFA is their most popular game and that's it. Where are they spending most of their money now? Mobile. You know why? Because that's $1 billion market and that promotes money. EA doesn't give a shit about the community. They literally are going where the money goes. Therefore, we get more mobile games. Therefore, we get a Madden 2045. We're just going to keep getting that because that's what sells. They don't care about what people want. They care about what sells.
So here's the thing.
So we'll never get crossplay.
But why are we just putting this on EA? Aren't they doing a mobile Diablo game?
They are. Blizzard is. Absolutely. You know why? Because Activision. Ooh, you did. Ooh, okay, no. So, yes, Activision just did that as a mobile game. You know why? Because Activision is also chasing the dollar. And they're making these announcements, and they're utilizing Blizzard. Hell, most of the leadership of Blizzard is gone. You know why? Because they don't want to do this anymore. They made a bunch of very successful games. They did their part. They made Overwatch. They made WoW. They made Diablo. They made StarCraft. They're done. They don't want to do another IP. They don't want to keep moving on because they're done. Mike Morhaime is leaving because he goes, I can retire.
Here's the thing about Activision. Activision Blizzard, however you want to call it. Shout out to the person who got in and decided to tell Bobby Kotick to shut the fuck up.
Yes, yes.
Right. Because we don't talk nowhere nearly as much as as we should about Activision. We used to when Bobby Kotick couldn't shut the fuck up.
Right. No, I concur. Yeah. So, but the two things you said, Corey, is what makes me believe EA, if they have any sense and still want to be one of the world's largest third-party developers, should do it. Number one, the mobile market. The mobile market can fund them the opportunity to take more risks and to do other things, like invest into larger single-player experiences, since EA found out this past year that they were completely wrong on that entire statement, because when you look at God of War and Spider-Man and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, those games were all great, and they all did really, really well. Right,
in 2 weeks.
So here we go. So much hating. The second thing is you were talking about. Let's see. You said I can't remember the second point. I had the second point,
but it was a good point.
It was a good point. It was a valid point.
When I say that they're going out for money, and when I say they're going for mobile, and you're like, oh yeah, if they want to go for mobile games, maybe that does cross-platform, just like Epic did with Fortnite. They go cross-platform, and that's what is. Fortnite's making all this money because they're teaching a new generation how to play games. That's awesome. EA, what does EA have? Sports games and The Sims. So basically, if you break off EA, so theoretically, EA gets bought out by a large publisher, right? Or whatever. They finally buy EA because EA is dying. So you end up having sports games and Sims. Sims Maxis, EA Maxis ends up breaking off. And guess what? Maxis is going to fail because nobody's going to buy a Sim game ever again. They only buy it now.
That ain't true. That ain't true.
You're not going to get the audience. You're not going to get the audience you had with EA.
Well, here's the thing.
Because I think people who care about the Sims really care about the Sims.
They really care about the Sims.
And even
care about the EA part of it, they care about the Sims.
And even further, I think that things like all the EA partners games that partner with indie devs, and I think that you can't discount studios like BioWare. You can't discount the Star Wars games. Like you can't discount DICE and Battlefield.
You're counting on the smaller developers.
No, that's DICE. I'm talking about DICE. Those are all EA-owned developers.
Owned and do their own projects. And EA goes, yes, keep your franchise, and you build a product based off of that. Every time EA jumps into something, it goes to shit. Every single time.
Valid. I'm going to make an analogy.
Okay.
And I need you to hear me out on this. EA is too busy chasing the Soldier Boys when we really want a new Luther.
Wow. That's a good point.
Because like Soldier Boy, blew up really fast and he became really big, and then he just kind of died off. Now he just came back with these consoles, and that was stupid. But but what we really need is a Luther. Like Luther, can you tell me a song that was on Luther's first album? No, because they gave him time to grow, and we got time to grow into that not quite right Jerry curl. But like, like we had time to grow into that. Like Whitney Houston, like how much of her first album do you know about? No, you know about the hits. And but we gave her time to grow. They need to start from the beginning and grow something into something larger without contaminating it like they did with games like Dead Space.
I don't think Dead Space was contamination.
Dead Space was a good horror game Luther. It was horror game Luther. And then they started feeling themselves. And I had never played Dead Space 3. But I've seen people play Dead Space.
I started
it. It became a shooter. It just became an action game. It wasn't a horror game anymore.
So I think at some point we're gonna have to have a discussion about EA and their strategy based upon their the composition of their revenue generation. Like we'll have to have a discussion about that.
All they have to do is just keep the same shit with the sports games. Like the sports games, that's never really going to die. Because you already have that model, and that's what you've been riding on, and that's cool. I like the fact that they did the live where they had loot boxes, but they weren't loot boxes where you could buy it with your own money. Like you had to grind in the game and get those loot boxes. So they still kept the loot boxes in live, but they knew they couldn't charge us real money for it because live is not really
right
the hotness no more. But like, do what you do with the sports games, but for everything else, give us a Luther. Stop with the Soldier Boy. Like stop it all together with the Soldier Boy. Look, Mass Effect had time to grow into what it became, and Mass Effect was Luther.
Yeah, it was, and then they Soldier Boy, and then Andromeda came back.
Andromeda was Soldier Boy.
Yeah, valid. Guys, we are 15 minutes over our cutoff time.
No, son, we're not finished.
Hold on, one more second. So because Mike was like, Sims will live forever and Sims will go off and do whatever and they'll be fine because Sims love Sims. I just would like to remind everybody about SimCity 5.
That is a valid point.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out.
I don't think that was the Sims team though.
It was.
It was EA that torpedoed that.
They did.
SimCity 5, would that have been as bad if EA didn't interfere?
We don't know.
They split off and did their own thing with SimCity 6.
Kevin said Sims will one day be VR. Think about that.
Yeah, with the Sims getting busy.
That'd be weird because you got the weird pixelated thing when you
exactly.
Like, yeah, is that me?
Come on, man. You know there's. I mean, my daughter is 10 years old. She's already looked at those monsters, remove the pixelation. But
she knows she's already on Skyrim with the dong thing going out. But it's fine. It's great.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Geralt and the unicorn. Don't worry about it. It's sitting over there in the corner. Don't worry about it. But all right, so guys, hey, starting point. Thank y'all for joining us, man.
Man, thanks for having us.
Hype. We sure appreciate it, man. So much fun.
Look, Blue going away. I still want to be on starting point.
Oh no, you have to be on. We have Mike. We got to get you on. Yeah. What we'll do is we'll have Mike come on, and then we'll have both of you guys on, and then we'll just like argue all night for like an hour. It'll be great.
Oh man, so great.
All night for like an hour.
For like, when I say all night, I mean like an hour.
I mean like an hour. All right.
I mean, I'm old. Like all night is an hour.
Super valid.
I had to rewatch an episode of Runaways when I got off work because I fell asleep. I missed most of that.
Yep. Now y'all know I was an old man in the game nights. I was
laying on the couch, watch TV. You're like, yeah, I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. All right. We'll start with you, Brian, man. Get your shout outs in, brother.
All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I mean, thanks for keeping it lively tonight. That was awesome.
Absolutely.
Also, shout out to MeefJ because we ended up meeting up before Christmas, and he was an awesome dude.
He is.
And I know he watches this.
Meef is my animal. I got your painting. It got mailed today. It'll be there Thursday. Bam.
All right. There you go. Yeah, he lives nearby. So
I've been there. I've met Meef in person.
All right. Well, next time you're in town, you we'll have drinks.
My girlfriend's daughter lives in Montgomery.
Oh, okay. That's not far.
Close by.
Not far. Yeah. Other than that, shout out to you guys for having us on, man. I mean, it is awesome to be a part of this last one before the season ends.
Yeah, man.
So yeah. You can catch me on Twitter as Quiglin. It's Quiglin. That's it, man.
Corey?
Why did y'all pick us to be your season enders? Like, I mean, appreciate it, but like, cool. No, but honestly, a big shout out to you guys. You guys can find me on all my social media as MythicGriffon, MythicGriffon. I do a live stream on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Central Time where we play Divinity Original Sin 2 by Larian Studios. We're in the last chapter. We've been playing for a while. Larry popped in a couple times and was like, "What the hell are y'all doing?"
Yeah, man, it's greatness, man.
Corey be dying.
I be dying. Listen, I die on purpose. So yeah, you guys can find me there at twitch.tv/mad spooky, which is my buddy's live stream. And then you guys can find me pretty much on all social media, video games, playing games, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, as MythicGriffon. Check me out and then catch our podcast, A Starting Point. So you guys can check that out as well on pretty much Brian everything, iTunes, Spotify, Twitter, all the things. If you listen to podcasts, A Starting Point, make sure you put that A in front. Otherwise you get this weird church thing and we feel really bad when that happens. So I do. I always do. I was like, oh, look at a Starting Point. They put up Starting Point and they're like, oh, look at this amazing church. And I was like, no, that's not us.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Mike, you got your shout outs?
Man, shout out to the people in the chat, man. The chat ain't really been popping like it used to be in the early days until today. And I'm just glad that y'all showed up to see my man Blue off.
Oh, here we go. He just keeps saying Blue off. Like, I'll still be around. Like, I'll still be jumping on shows, but it won't be like me running anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll still be around.
Yeah,
just not as free.
No, I'm really thinking about my podcast retirement also. So, like, I'm really kind of considering it. This might be an end of the year type thing. I might be like, yeah, 2020,
right?
So I'm seriously, man, for the Starting Point folks, man, we really appreciate having y'all on. We really dig the show. It's one of the few shows outside of like the ESPN with Lebitard and Bo that I actually listen to, or like some of the AfterBuzz shows about the TV shows I watch. Outside of those, I do not listen to a lot of podcasts. I just don't have the time anymore. But yours is a show that I always try to make sure that I catch.
Awesome.
Well,
thank you.
We appreciate that. And also, I'm sorry for every drunk episode I've ever been on.
No, I like the drunk episode. I used to look. I was around for the inception of the 40 cast where they used to get ripped.
There's a thing. There's an actual movement right now to get Brian drunk one time. So we're like, there's a big movement of like, get Brian drunk, because I'll drink and I'll come on the podcast and I get stupid and I fucking slur my words and all that other stuff. But I was like, I would love to get Brian just to go on a tangent drunk.
I'm so used to Corey slurring his words, I don't even notice anymore.
Reels me in. It's fine.
I got drunk on the podcast once.
Yeah, once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Roll
dangerous.
I'm just gonna say this for it's still available, and I'll talk about this on the last Scarcasm. I did part of the show from the floor because I was so drunk, the world was moving, and I fell out of my chair. And instead of getting off the floor and getting back into my chair, I just yelled up at the microphone.
Yep, he did. I just thought about it too. I still got to tell y'all that fight story that I promised.
You ain't tell us the fight story.
I ain't tell y'all the fight story. Okay, y'all got 120 seconds, right?
This is how we end. This is how we end the fight story. So, some people heard me say it like live in person. I think when I was in PAX South, but for a lot of listeners, they hadn't. So, let's go out to my boy Simpson, because he's here. He was there. He was there. So we had told the members from this other organization. We had told these Kappas, look,
Don't get out here, get to acting crazy. It's your weekend. We're gonna go support you guys. We're gonna come out. We're gonna pay to go to your ball. We're gonna pay to go to your party. We're gonna come support y'all and show some solidarity, right? He's over there at my frat brother's house, at our house, getting his haircut because that's where the barber was at. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Okay, we good." Now this is president to president from one former president to the current president of the chapter. Cool. Get to the party. They get to talking noise, talking trash. They bumping us when we strolling. Now, if y'all don't know, bumping us when you strolling, it's like rolling in your grandma's house and cursing. Oh. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. So we told him, "Hey man,
no. Bumping while you strolling is rolling up in your grandma's house and say, bitch, this ain't the right pie."
Oh, that'll get you stabbed. That'll get you stabbed. Yeah. So, you know, they bumped into us. We was like, "Hey, man, calm down. Know y'all tipsy. Calm down." So we let it go. They did it again. And when they did it a second time, I stopped him. I didn't tap him on the shoulder. I pulled him by the shoulder and I said, "Hey, man, what the F are you doing?" I was like, when we came over to the house, I thought we had an agreement. He was like, "Yeah, man, but y'all ain't nothing but some," you know what I'm saying? So y'all need to know, I'm from the hood. So, dude was wearing glasses. I didn't wear my glasses in anticipation, but I also put on my big state championship back-to-back basketball ring that had two diamonds in it, surrounded by onyx.
Two of them.
All two of them. And I told him, "Hey, man, we had an agreement." And so his girl stepped in between. He's like, "Man, y'all don't need to be fighting." And he was like, "Man, F that N-word. F that. He a punk." So I reached over his girl and jabbed him in the nose, knocked his glasses off, and it was on. So literally, there were about 8 from my fraternity versus 14 from their fraternity. And I have never, ever seen 8 people mop up 14 people like we mopped up 14 people.
300.
So we're in there slanging, we throwing them things, right? I hit old boy, I knock his glasses off, I knock him down. And now my head is on the swivel. I'm looking around, right? Run into this other dude who had been talking trash. He's like a year younger than me, right? Came in a year behind me. I hit the dude really hard, like I knocked him out on contact. No lie.
I mean,
on contact, knocked him out. The girl next to him was like, "Oh my God, he's dead, because he just dropped to the ground." And so I knocked him out, turned around, and then one of my frat brothers, he was like, "Man, calm down, just don't be fighting." And so he was grabbing me, and in the process of him grabbing me, one of the dudes hit me in the eye with his cane. And I'm like, I wanted to turn around and light this dude up, right? Because number one, rule 1 of is in a fight, you don't jump in between anybody. Number 1. Number 2, you don't hold somebody back who's on your side, right? You don't hold somebody back that's on your side. But at this time, I literally hear somebody hit the wall. I don't know what that is, but I'll tell you what that is later. Now I'm sitting there holding my eye because I'm getting up thinking, I'm like, all right, I should go to the hospital right now because he hit me like with the hook in my eyeball, like in my actual eyeball. And I'm like, if I go after him right now, odds are I will probably kill this dude because he's way smaller than me. And at this time, I'm almost as strong as I've ever been. I can almost bench press 300 pounds again at like 180, right? So I will probably kill him if I go after him. So I'm like, all right, I go to the hospital, talk to my boys. So the whole time while I'm fighting, the thing that I hear hit the wall is my boy Ben. And I saw it out of the corner of my good eye. He was like this. Like he hit a dude with an uppercut so hard, dude, literally, no exaggeration, flew over the couch, hit the wall, bounced off the wall, and fell down. Right. So
how you get hit with the Mortal Kombat?
Man, he came dog, like elbow to ear, hit that dude, hit the wall. And so so the next day we're sitting down, we're talking with the dean of multicultural affairs. They're like, "Why you guys fighting?" I'm like, "Look," and they're gonna use the excuse, "Well, you know, we were a little bit drunk and stuff." I'm like, "Well, number 1, you guys are underage, so that's negligence per se. But number 2, we had an agreement, right?" So the dude that I knocked out on contact that I told you guys about, no lie, on his forehead he had I hit him so hard. He had the impression of my ring in his forehead. You could literally read the words from my ring that said Wowoka Tiger state champion on his forehead. So I talked to now this was in 2001, fall of 2001. Talked to my boy Deuce last summer, 2017. Last summer. He said, I saw him in St. Louis about 3 months ago. He still has this indention on his forehead.
You know what's great? Like every bar story that he shows up to, right? Like if you're ever in that room, be like, I hit him. Oh yeah, you really hit him. Be like, yeah, see the indention on his
right. And no, it's right.
There.
And so we were sitting in there in the Dean of Multicultural Affairs, and we were sitting there talking, and like he literally had it when I was sitting there talking to him, and Deuce was sitting over there because he was in the fight. He was laughing, and he was like, man, dude, he messed you up. And so like I literally have in my ring, there's some onyx around the trophies in my ring, but in the middle of the ring, the onyx is gone because I hit him so hard it cracked off and flew away that day. So that's the bar fight story. Floyd was the National Pan-Hellenic Council chairman, so he was the chairman over all Black Greek organizations.
Call him by his name, dog. Simpson.
Simpson. He was the president of, so he couldn't jump in, but he was a member of my fraternity, so he couldn't do anything. So I put him in like the worst position ever, right? But that's the story. I'm sticking to it. It's the truth. And then I met one of Simpson's girls in, I guess it was a few years after we graduated. This happened early our senior year. Met him a few years after we graduated, and we told him about the party.
Everybody was gonna notice that.
Yeah. so
it's what the Kappas do. The guys that got beat up, it's part of their thing where they kind of
right
and crouch down and stuff.
Yeah. So we met her. She went to school at the University of Illinois Chicago, which Chicago was 6 hours away from my campus. When I met her, and Simpson was like, yeah, that's my boy Jay. She was like, oh, that's cool. He was like, yeah, so you know that fight y'all heard about? She was like, yeah, he started it. I'm like, let's be clear, Simpson. I didn't start it. I simply finished the fight, right?
Wow.
And she's like, yeah, we heard about that way at University of Illinois in Chicago. They heard about this fight 6 hours away because, dude, it was I don't know. It was one of the most outlandish things I've ever done. It was highly immature, but I strongly feel like, look, if you're gonna say something, you got to do something. Like,
Noted. Don't fight Larry when he has his rings on.
Right. That's not a good look.
That's the moral you took from this.
That's the moral that I got. That's the moral of the story.
And watch your conversations when he got a little bit of drink. Because but look, he gets a little bit of drink. Blue be cussing.
Right. Hey, I told y'all, man. Like the Blue y'all see in front of y'all now is a well-reformed Blue. Like I used to be like Mike on the daily. So
be like Mike on the daily.
Yeah, on the daily.
Like wow.
Like
so that's it, man. That was the story I've been promising y'all. Look, all right, I'm getting my shout outs in and we're gonna let y'all go. I'm sorry I kept y'all from your family and y'all time too long. Look, so shout outs to of course, like I said, Starting Point for coming on here joining us, man. You guys great. Brian and Corey, man. Like I said, I do hope to see you guys next year at PAX South because I will be there. I plan on it. I'm gonna apply and do what I can to get a media badge. And if I can't, then I'm just gonna pay for a ticket and get there.
Rejected this year.
Did you really?
Yeah, from the media badge. Yeah.
Wow.
Man, they must be tightening up, making it much more stringent, man.
There's less tense. So,
yeah. But shout outs to everyone who's ever listened to the show, who's ever heard it, who's ever shared it. Shout out, and I'm just gonna name off some people who were here kind of supporting us all the time. So Chase, DetroitSlasher, Kevin, who's in the chat now, Kevin, Keith, aka Rogue Spear, Mark, Simpson, and then people we've had on like Elaine, ET Dragon. Greatness. Other people who've just supported us and talked and listened to the show. Jason, aka Faitios, all the OFR, Geeks for the win.
The Dream Team.
The Dream Team. Yes, you guys. Yep. You guys are there. Absolutely. All of Scarcasm Live Network, also to Knox, Shoutouts, who's been in there, Glovebox, Mark, RonBlock, EDG, AZ Rockslide, Jay, aka MeefJ, Chris, GameEnthus, Aaron, Jay O'Malley, like everybody who has ever listened to us, who has ever put us in their ear, all my people at work, Darren, Sheridan, and them. Like, look,
nobody that's ever put me in your ear, and I mean that both ways, because I put everything in your ear, baby.
Look, Mike. Finally, for the last time, the comments expressed by Mike, aka Scarfinger, are not necessarily representative. But no, man, like really.
No, but really, like, let's be honest. I said I put it in your ear. I mean, I would have just been like, oh, I thought you said rear.
See, that too means that all views and comments expressed by Mike, aka Scarfinger. But no, like, thank you guys. Like, we really appreciate it. Like I said, like Facetious will be going away. I don't know if it'll come back. But I will still be around. Like, I'll try to find my way on to like leaving audio voicemails on shows that I listen to all the time, or hitting people on Twitter. You can always find me here. I am pretty much Bluemanrule everywhere except 2 places, and I'm L Asbury the other 2. On Twitter and YouTube, I am L Asbury. Everywhere else, every other network, everywhere else, I am Bluemanrule. You can find me. I am not that hard to find, I promise you. OpenForm Radio is where I house. That's where I stay. That's the network that I'm the CFO of. I'm blessed to have that opportunity. But there are a lot of other great shows out there. Please get out there. OMG Hour, OFR, Geeks for the Win, Tap the Craft, Gamer Husbands Radio, GameEnthus. Look, man, there are a ton of shows that we have out there. Guys, get out there, check them out. So Facetious will be hitting the archives. It's out there with Provy Point. So I think this is the 400th episode, numbered episode, that I've manned as a main host, not counting the 100 that I've done of Provy Point, the 100 or so that I've done of OpenForm Radio, and I've filled in here and there. But nevertheless, like, look, it's been a long run, but I love this thing. I love talking. I love sharing my opinion. And if I feel that somebody is wrong, then y'all might hear from me. So, but everybody, thank you so much for listening to and or watching Facetious just in its entirety. I guess for the last time, we love y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Y'all could have listened to anyone and been anywhere, somewhere else right now, but you were here with us. So peace out to them Warriors, yo.
These are the worst.
I almost got emotional just then. Like, did y'all feel